Katika ndani ya saa tatu Last Eye ndani ya Radio Maisha, radio zaidi ya radio, mpango mzima kama kawa kama dawa. Niite Man Rio, kipenda niite Jibaba hapa.
Naitwa Solomon Zuli. Dakika 10 zimekatika baada ya mwendo wa saa 3. This is the Last Eye na tumebahatika kuweza kumpata Dr. Fred Matiang'i. Ametoka wa sister station Spice FM. Najua amezungumza sana, lakini kidogo tu tunajua kwamba anapigania kiti cha urais pia katika uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2027, lakini tumkaribishe tu angalau aweze kusalimia wawili watatu na tuweze kugusia pia kuhusiana na swala tata la mswada wa kuhusiana na matumizi ya mitandao ama tukipenda ni cyber crimes bill. Karibu sana Dr. Fred Matiang'i katika studio zetu asubuhi ya leo.
Asante sana, thank you so much for
Alright. Nafikiri hili ni swala ambalo limegusa wa Kenya katika njia tofauti tofauti. Maoni yako kuhusiana na mswada huu haujaanza leo. Maoni yako ni yapi haswa na Wakenya wanafaa kujua nini kuhusiana na mswada huu?
Kwanza asante sana kwa nafasi ya kipekee ambayo nimepata leo asubuhi, na vile umesema kwa hakika nimekuwa katika station ingine hapa Spice FM leo asubuhi tukiongea yale ambayo yanazungumziwa wakati huu kuhusu mswada wa cyber crime ambao unasukuma sana na serikali. Ni kwamba ndio tunaelewa serikali ingependa kutusaidia vile sisi tunatumia social media ama tunatumia mtandao,
yes.
Na ni kweli pia kwamba kuna uwezekano ama there is interest to control abuse of social media in the country, lakini the method ambayo inatumika inashangaza sana. Tufike mahali ambapo serikali yenyewe inaweza kuamua kufunga account yako. Sasa huo ni style ya kiimla, kwa sababu tuna koti. Kama serikali inaonelea kwamba wewe unafunja sheria, you are abusing your account and so on, why can't we have a court process? We have seen this system in the UK the other day, yes. When there were riots, and protests against foreigners in the UK, and the Prime Minister Keir Starmer, who is a former prosecutor himself, insisted on using a system of courts and a just system that allows everyone to who is an offender to face the law. We cannot, I mean, 62 years after independence, we cannot have a situation where the government solely or singularly decides which accounts will operate and which accounts will not operate. That's not how we are going to stop abuse of social media. Abuse of social media will be stopped through proper and responsible regulation, and also an environment of effective prosecution. The justice system is involved in these things. I'm very concerned about that. It sounds dictatorial. Why would we delete the Public Order Act in the manner in which it was and remove the official Chief's Authority Act only to bring a law that gives the government exclusive authority to determine on how you use social media? Is
this in any way related to the 2027 general elections?
It is. It's very possible. It is very possible. But I would like to advise I've just told your colleagues this, and I don't mind saying this honestly. Look around the world, everywhere, and this government should be concerned about that. I can advise them for free as a former Minister of Security.
Yes.
Around the world, every government that has tried to clamp down on social media and internet has been overthrown.
Yeah.
They are working themselves out of office very nicely. How would you do the kind of things they are doing 62 years after independence? I do not support abuse of social media. I will never support abuse of social media. I have been a victim of abuse of social media before. And when you're in public responsibilities, this will happen all the time. I mean, there are very responsible people around us. There's crime even in banking and so on. So the government seeking to find a solution to abuse of social media is understandable, and they're doing their job. That's what they're supposed to do. But it cannot be through shutting down accounts.
If you're in that position, what would you have done differently, Dr. Fred Matiang'i?
I would have worked with the judicial system, for example, and worked with the Chief Justice and the Judicial Service Commission to see whether we can actually come up with special magistrate courts that deal with these cases of defamation and abuse of social media. Why? Because look, my brothers, whether you like it or not, Kenya is the digital capital of Africa. Our investment in the digital space is huge. The level of creativity in our country is huge. 70% of our population are people below the age of 35. So we are a vibrant, active social media environment as it is. I cannot understand how we cannot have these challenges. We have these challenges and they will always be there. So the best thing is to look for lawful ways that are not abusive of freedoms to still achieve the results. And the UK is a classic example. We would engage with the Chief Justice, engage with the Judicial Service Commission, because the number of cases we have, even when I was Minister for Security, we had cases of abuse of social media, and then you get very annoyed. In fact, there is a blogger who is out on bond 7 or 8 times, and he writes crazy things about people. But you see, still, we could not circumvent the law. We still have to, DCI arrests him, takes him to a magistrate gives him bond 2,000 and comes out. You see, democracy and freedoms are not going to be easy. No one told us that we are going to build a democratic environment without strain and sacrifice.
They probably, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, wanaona kwamba they took it a bit too far. Manake una create kibonzo cha rais kwenye jeneza. I mean, that is going too far, Dr. Fred Matiang'i.
I agree. But by the way, I agree in a case like that. What we should have tightened, in my view. And by the way, as I said, I respect and I understand the government's interest. I served in the National Security Council. These challenges that we face with social are real. I feel it for people. I have been a victim of the same. If I may,
your former boss had to deactivate his Twitter account.
I was Minister for Interior when I sat in my house having supper with my family. When someone went on Twitter and said I was dying in Aga Khan Hospital. So I've been a victim of this before, and I understand. But my brother, if we go the direction of saying a guy like that, we should have shut down their account, where will you stop? Because when you start taking away freedoms, where will you stop? How we will solve this problem? A guy like that one, creating images in the coffin and so on. We amend the law and find a way of charging them in a court of law, so that they face a magistrate and a magistrate takes a decision. That way, then you moderate the action on the part of the offenders and also the government. But if you tell the government, wake up in the morning and shut down the account, where will you stop? And it's going to depend on the goodwill of those in authority. The Public Order Act, which was repealed, and the Chiefs Authority Act were all enacted with good intentions, that you want to give chiefs and provincial administration people an opportunity to regulate order in society. But look at how it was abused. I'm a former Minister of Security, and I can tell you that those legislations were abused, because it depends on who is in office at that point in time. So same thing with this one. Let us all work on our way, and then all of us means civil society, social media users, and anyone involved. Let us all work on our way of dealing with abuse of social media. That is a problem. Watoto wanajiua nini, all manner of things are happening because of cyberbullying. Let us now work on our way, but one of that will not be giving government unfettered and absolute authority to switch off your account. So what happens? So where will you stop?
Dr. What you're saying, by doing this, the government is literally shooting itself on the foot.
I've said this clearly. Let them do their homework today around the world. Any government that has tried to clamp down on social media and shut down social media has been overthrown.
Nepal, for example,
Dr. I know we need to let you go, but you're still in the race come 2027, right? Why would we vote for? Why do we wake up on that day and go vote for you, Matiang'i? Why you?
I'll give you a better government. I'll be a better president.
They all say that.
But I have a track record. They don't. I have a track record. I've been in public service before. Every time I was given an opportunity, I delivered on the assignments I was given. My record is there for everyone to see. I've not turned up to ask for leadership in areas where I don't understand. I understand government like the back of my hand. I was a Minister for Education before. I cleaned up the sector. I was Minister for Security before. I managed the security of the country very effectively, and I understand the country very well. I drove digital migration when I was a Minister for ICT. People never posed to ask the question, what would have happened if we had not migrated? And then I implemented a very critical public policy when I was there before. And therefore, I'm saying on the basis of that, I am not an unknown quantity. I have been in this space before. You have seen what I have done. That's why every time I say any other candidate seeking, put your record on the table, I put mine too.
Bwana Matiang'i, some politicians will say that Bwana Matiang'i is conservative, hana maneno mengi, sio mwanasiasa ambaye atenda pale serikali kuongea na nguvu. Some say that Bwana Matiang'i is not fit for the political arena because the political world is dirty. Are you willing to put your hands, in the dirty pot?
I'm willing to do all lawful things that need to be done to be elected to office. I am not willing to break the law just to become president.
Yeah.
Or I'm not willing to do silly things that I cannot do to become president. I don't know of a country that has been built by speeches. You make so many speeches and so on, so you become. Show me one country around the world that has been built by speeches.
Yeah.
Show me a country that has been built by political gamesmanship and so on. I'm not interested in engaging that. Kenyans are not looking for political entertainers. They are looking for leaders. They are looking for a leader who will go into that office and provide solutions to the challenges of the country, manage the country effectively and very well. Kenyans can do a lot of things for themselves. They're not looking for a president to make chapatis for them or make their beds or raise their children for them. They're looking for a president to govern the country, bring everyone on board, and level up with the people, be honest with the people of Kenya in the use of resources, and avoid wastage and run the country effectively. That's all. And I believe I'm ready and prepared to do that.
Bwana Matiang'i, you have been voted numerous times as one of the most effective and hardworking cabinet secretaries in your tenure. Kufikia sai, we are seeing a lot of insecurity. We're seeing a lot of drug trafficking. We're seeing a lot of drugs left, right, and center from JKIA to the ports. Such a situation, how would you have handled it, or how will you handle it to ensure that Kenya is not seen as a country that tolerates drug trafficking?
First of all, I will not shirk, verge, bend, or even hide from my public responsibilities. It will be my responsibility, and the buck will stop at my desk. I will face these guys head on. I'll face them down the way I faced the examination cartels in education. The way I faced the criminals when I was minister for interior. I'll face them up. Number two, I will not compromise. I will not have conversations or negotiations with the criminals. And I will not be party to those people, and they will not persuade me in any other way. Number three, I'll follow the law. The beauty about this country is that we have all the laws that we need to manage the country. We don't even need new law or even new institutions. We have enough institutions. We have enough laws. What we don't have is enough courage and enough forthrightness in the management of the country. That's what we are missing. And then, when people ask me these questions, I tell them, there is no better way of fighting corruption. There is no better way of fighting this nonsense than exemplary leadership, leading by example. You cannot tell people to stop doing what you do every day yourself. And if those people who are engaged in those businesses know that they can't bring money to you and you will not take it, and that you will punish them, they will not do it.
And lastly, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the president has been very categorical. The issue of shouting left, right, and center, one term. We need solutions. Kenyans need solutions right now. Those two things that you will handle on your first 100 days in office.
Begin the process of reinstitutionalization of government. The government institution has been outsourced to cartels and criminal gangs. Some people I deported as Minister for Interior are now government contractors.
Who are those?
In Kenya, and so on. And people know them. First of all is to bring about clean government. So that people get a government that they deserve, and government that respects the people of Kenya. Two, I will level with the people, tell them the truth. This is what needs to be done, and so on, and live truthfully also with them as a leader. I will not tell people one thing and do another myself. That way the changes will happen. And as I said, allow the public service infrastructure to work as effectively as it ought to. So that I am not appointing people because of the tribes they come from, calling and looking for political stillborns around people who have contested elections and failed, then trusting them with very critical responsibilities of government. Then you demoralize the public servant. Public servants in Kenya, Kenyan workers now, had really demoralized. The morale is at its lowest ever because of overtaxation, and then of course the obliteration and politicization of the civil service. People are not moving or are not being promoted or being given responsibilities on the basis of their qualification, but on the basis of their political affiliation. This, and as I said, overtaxation has destroyed the character of the public service as we know it. So I will restore that. That will be one of my first things. We will hire people on the basis of merit because they qualify to do the jobs they are seeking to do. And once you do that, slowly confidence in government will return. and then the trust of government will return, and then of course I will rein in on the wastage of public service. The government is too wasteful for a country of our size and so on. All this nonsense you are seeing around about empowerment and people moving around the villages giving
with millions of shillings
and so on, you know, giving people rice and so on. That is really not how to manage the country.
All right.
Because those things are not sustainable. They are not going to take us anywhere. That's why there is no capitation in schools and so on. Lastly, when the university lecturers have been on strike for nearly a month, when I meet students from the universities and they tell me they are not sure they are going to do the exams, they are not sure they are not going to graduate next year and so on, 62 years after independence, that's a joke.
You're still going it alone, or you will do coalitions with the other?
I'm working with my brothers and sisters in the opposition. We will work together because Kenyans want us to work together.
Right.
We are going to stay the course, working together. We may have challenges, we may have issues that we are dealing with, but that's precisely why we need to work together, align, negotiate, mediate, integrate, and finally come up with a candidate.
Okay. All the best, Daktari. Tutakutafuta siku nyingine tuzungumze zaidi. I know you need to go, and thank you so much for your time and all the best.
Asante sana.
Asante sana. Karibu sana Dr. Fred Matiang'i, presidential candidate come 2027. This is Radio Maisha. Naitwa Solomon Zuli, of course, with my brother Main Manrio.